Okay, we're here to talk about male identity, gender, and race. And I have 4 guests that I would like to thank for participating in this project. Our subject is about black masculinity. And I have a series of questions that I would like for each of you to answer. First of all, let me introduce each person. Derek, you are how old?
24.
Okay, thanks for being here. And
DJ.
DJ, you are?
21.
21.
Chris, 26. Cancer.
Kevin, 35.
Oh, okay, so we have a nice range. And my questions, like I said, is around male identity, black male identity in particular. So my first question deals with masculinity, and it is, what is your definition of being a man? May I start with you, Derek, first?
Yes, you can. Well, to me, the definition of being a man is someone who's loyal to the things that he does, a man, who can take care of his family, a man who's never able to admit when he's wrong, someone who's respectful to other people, someone who's, has fears but never afraid to admit them.
That sounds great. Mr. DJ, you have anything that you would like to add to that question? What would be your personal definition of being a man?
My definition of being a man would be someone who is able to stand on his own too and provide for his family as well as himself, and to be able to be mature and know, what path to take that's right for him, and just stay dedicated to whatever choices he makes and stand by his word.
That sounds great. Mr. Christopher, can you define what being a man is to you?
I pretty much agree with these two gentlemen just said. It's pretty much holding your own. It's not much to being a man, but it's not easy either. It's pretty much taking care of what you have to take care of, provide, protect, and handle the rest of your business.
All right. Mr. Kevin, when we talked about being a man, I did have everyone introduce themselves in their age, and you have
Two kids.
took some steps. So you're through the puberty, the teenage, that mid-transition of early 20s, and you have transitioned into the 30 category, so that you have went through some phases. What would be your definition of being a man?
Male figure, because I have nephews, I have a son, I have a daughter, so it's all type of things I have to do as a man, not just be a man, period. I got to be a man to my daughter in a different way, and a man to my son, and a man to my nephew, and just be a man all apart, because I have nothing but women in my life. So
There's
that's
different
called being,
phases.
it's called, it's different phases of being a man. It just, your trials and tribulations and what you bring to the table as a man, what you're supposed to bring to the table as a man.
Okay. So now that we have defined what each of you feel is a definition of being a man, I want to get into the black male identity aspect. So are there any specifics that are more characteristic or more culturally specific to being a young black man, or as opposed to man? What kind of obstacles do you feel are out there, or benefits or whatever? What are some of the specifics of being a black man?
I just know that we have to strive a little bit better than the next person, because we are already stereotyped already. So we have to prove that we're not what so-called world say that we are. So that's one thing we have to do. I don't know what the young man feel.
They feel like sometimes we feel like we're born with the stereotype.
Right.
lot of people,
Right.
everybody is born with the stereotype, but we get more of the negative stereotypes, which a lot of us black men do play too.
But makes it a little difficult.
Right, but when being a man, if you're going to be a man, you're going to have to break that mold and break that stereotype, because some of the stereotypes that we have are not described as being a man. Out of each 4 of these answers that we got, some of the stereotypes are not.
Well, speaking of stereotypes, and Mr. Kevin, you talked about being different types of masculinity in different areas as far as children, jobs, and nephews and daughters. Now, what do you think, what is your perception that women have for men? What do you think that women are looking for in a black man? And are you? Oh, what?
Different story with that.
Women per se, which is, I mean, doesn't necessarily have to be black. What is, you know, if you're trying to be a man, then, and you want to, as far as relationships are concerned or whatever, what do you think this woman might be looking for in you, or in men in general? Still trying to figure it out.
You hear every man that's
strong enough for her.
Exactly. Whoever fulfill her needs. Right. You know. Certain women needs is different.
Out the box.
Yeah.
And we touched a little bit on stereotypes and society views. I have a series of 4 questions. And they deal with society. And some of them are myths, and some of them we are brought up to, not specifically told that, but through actions and behaviors and peer pressures or whatever, we're led to believe certain things. So being a young black man, I would like to know individually, what are your particular thoughts, particularly on this subject about availability of black men? How that they're either on the down low, gay, or in jail. What are your thoughts on that, Mr. This is as far as black men are concerned.
Everyone lives the life that they live. They choose to actually go down the path of actually doing wrong, then that's their choice in life. I mean, that's a decision that they make. I don't think we have a choice on the decision that they make. And then as far as, a man, wanting another man, that's the way that he chose. So I don't have really feeling towards that. But to me, as far as that, I don't approve of it. Either I approve of a black man going to jail, but basically that's just the path that they chose. It's not a good one, but I don't approve of it.
Okay, so your feelings is that may not be
so what is that he got to be there to
one or the other. Either they're as far as availability, either they're free or in jail. Do you agree with that? Is that a myth? Or?
No, that to me it's a myth.
Okay, thanks for your comment. Mr. DJ, do you have any comments on that particular?
I agree with them that it is a myth. I believe that society likes to focus on those aspects of the black male, but
because I don't have the time. I keep getting the message.
All types of races in jail, all type of gay races, but they like to focus on the negative.
Just busy right now.
And I'm a living statistic that I'm not gay, I'm not in jail.
That's right. I can get back with you on that
Any
time.
comments from you, Mr. Christopher?
I feel a lot of brothers are on the down low because we have this.
Okay.
I don't know what you call it, stigma of being tough, being the man. No way. we the women pleasers, we the lover boys, the black race, you know, and nobody ever admits that they have that gay cousin or that gay or homosexual cousin. I mean, when it boils all down to it, we all human, and some of the choices we make are for us and not for anybody else. But I can see why a lot of homosexual men are scared to going into the closet, because not even women accept it.
Well, do you think the majority of the black men are in jail? Or headed that way?
A lot of today, yeah, there are a lot of them headed, but maybe a big
They've been
percentage of
steered
us
wrong.
headed towards jail.
They've been steered wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They've
Some
been
of us
giving up
just-
on society or giving up on
Uh-huh.
themselves, because it is kind of hard, but it ain't that hard unless you decide, you know, go the right path. If you go the wrong path, you're going to go that way. You know, your wrong path is always going to send you that way. If you just be a law-abiding citizen and do your job and work every day as a man's supposed to do or a woman's supposed to do, it doesn't matter male or women, because now you say black men, and it's a lot of black women that's in jail too, so it's not just a stereotype thing on that situation, you know, it's just, hey, when you have the easier way out with drugs or stealing or robbing or whatever, it's so more easier to make money and be part of this life, money-wise, you know. So it's easy for us as black people to get in trouble and do these things, but it's on you to be headstrong and go the right path.
Another reason why I think it happens is, for one, not being steered at all, let alone being steered the wrong way. For one, and a close second, maybe a 1B is laziness, because in the end it boils down to you whether you want to get up and whether you want to do anything.
That brings me to my next question about some of the stereotypes or maybe some of the perceptions of black men. It's been said that the majority of black men don't do well in school. They either drop out or they barely get a high school diploma and are not interested in college or further in their academic career. What are your thoughts on that?
I think a lot of it starts when you're young. A lot of kids tell you it's not cool to be the smart one in the class, and then even when you are, you get stones thrown at you because of it. So a lot of people rather look cool. Yeah, look cool and be smart, when in the end the smart ones are going to be the cool ones.
Mr. DJ, you have any thoughts on that?
I hate to say it, like, I would agree, because I know a lot of black people who didn't finish school, black men in particular, who didn't finish school or tried and just dropped out. Like, I know a few that has degrees.
It's a rare thing in your circle.
Yes.
Going to the streets and drugs. Do you believe that the drugs are the cause of the breakdown of the black community and the black family?
It's a catch-22, because it was drugs back in the day with black people, and you took it to a certain extent, where at this younger age it's a little bit more, I don't know why, is it a little bit more stronger and more influence on the young black, because drugs always been in this world, so you can't always just blame it on the drugs. It's the person's how they take it and how they go about themselves and doing these things. So drugs, to me, because I think it's just a cop out for a person that's not strong. To me.
And it boils back down to being a man. You're not handling your business when you're letting a drug take over everything else, which I'm sure is more important than a drug.
But is it more prevalent with the African American community?
No,
I think it's just more it's seen more.
Visible.
It's more
It's
visible.
focused
It's more
on.
focused
Focus
on
on.
because we allow it
You
to happen.
have Caucasians that's just as much as in
We
these
actually want
drugs.
to actually get caught with it more. than us.
Exactly.
And that probably contributes to the amount of in jail.
In jail and stuff
It's,
like
prob-
that.
it's probably more white.
Cycle.
It's probably more white people in jail than it is black people. It's just a more percentage of us are in jail. More of our people are in jail.